did, said you had come back from the dead. You were playing so fine, scooping up the soul of the wine.
Hello, my name is Amanda Johns, and I'm 30 years old. And when I was 25 years old, I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure, anemia, ITP, which has an extremely long name, and a lot of other symptoms that I had. Rheumatoid arthritis since my early teens. The loss of blood happened once I was older. So at 21 years old, I just went and had a routine checkup, just like a physical, and they told me that my platelets were low. At that time, besides the rheumatoid arthritis, I really didn't have the bleeding and the rashing of the skin and things of that nature. So they put me on prednisone. I took it for a little while. I read the side effects of prednisone and realized that it was very damaging to the liver. So I took myself off prednisone. At that time, I did not know what I know now about diet, so I just didn't do anything, which I'm sure was not good. So at 22, 23 years old, I started bleeding a lot. Teeth bleeding, the rheumatoid arthritis worsened where I was having like swelling in the joints, pain, like really bad pain, and heat, almost red heat in the joints. The teeth bleeding became really bad. Periods became more than 7 days. Severe bleeding, that's what scared me and made me think, okay, I need to do something about this, but for whatever reason, I always had a fear of going to the hospital. I finally went to the hospital when I was 25. I got to the point when I was 25 that I had let it go to where my hemoglobin was 3. I think the worst year of it was when I was 24 and turned 25. That year, I got so weak that I couldn't even go up a flight of stairs. Couldn't exercise at all. Matter of fact, I got to the point that I could not get out of the bed, and my mom was so upset. She begged me to go to the hospital for a long time before I went. I don't know, I have this stubbornness about me. I thought, I'm gonna get well. But I got worse, way worse. So when I went into the ER, finally, because once I woke up one morning after I was crawling back and forth from the toilet to the bed, I decided, I think I'm gonna die soon. So I came out to the living room and I said to my mom, I think I'm gonna go to the hospital today. And I went and I got to the ER. I couldn't even get out of the car. They had to come get me with a wheelchair. They did realize I was pretty severe. It was the first time I'd ever been in the ER. My mom said it was the first time she had ever been in the ER, and they immediately took somebody back there without information. They asked me while I was laying in the bed instead of having me wait in the waiting room. They did take really good care of me. I mean, they assisted me. I was in critical care unit for a couple of days. My hemoglobin was 3. Normal hemoglobin for a woman is above 11 or 12, probably above 12. And mine was 3. So they immediately gave me a blood transfusion. When I was in the ER, I was so white that the people were amazed that I didn't come in on an ambulance. I had people coming by my critical care unit, the new nurses and things, because they wanted to see Miss Amanda Johns, who came in that had to have like 5 to 6 units of blood, and I hadn't even been in a car accident because I had waited for, that it was that severe. So they tested me. They, first of all, they couldn't get a pulse, so they were a little scared and not sure what to do about it. So that scared me. I just remember passing out a lot. Not really coherent, like it sounded like people were really far away when they would talk to me. I would answer, I could still answer, but I'm sure it was slow and very faint. That's all I remember, is it just being very faint. After all the testing, they figured out that I had congestive heart failure. I had 1.5 liters of water around my heart. And so they put me on the heart floor in the hospital. They ran a lot of tests on me. Since how they diagnosed me with ITP, which is the irregular platelet count, which happens to a lot of cancer patients, usually if they're taking chemotherapy or radiation, which I had none of. So they wanted to do bone scans to see if I had leukemia. I had a lot of symptoms of someone who had leukemia. I did not have leukemia, but I did have the congestive heart failure and the anemia. So immediately when they gave me the blood, my response came back. I felt like I had more energy. I could stand at that point. I could walk at that point. They did come in and tell me that the removal of the water would have to be done, that it was so severe that I probably wouldn't survive. And I know they tell a lot of people that, but my first reaction was, no. I didn't want to do surgery. I was very scared. I did go through with the removal of the water because I was so weak. I felt that that's not major surgery, but if at least we removed the water and gave me blood, I could probably come back. So I did it, and I was in the hospital for about a week. Once they removed the water and with the blood, I immediately got strong enough to stand without falling. But they never could raise my platelet count. They wanted it a certain level prior to me leaving the hospital, but they just kept giving me immunoglobulin, I think is the name of it. It's a stimulant that helps you build blood and platelets and things of that nature. It did not help. For whatever reason, my body just flushed it and didn't use it. They gave me platelets. I would flush them. I couldn't hold blood levels at all the entire time that I was there. I guess after the 5th or 6th day, I guess I was there for a full 6 days, almost 7 days, I decided that I was just gonna leave and see what I could do about it on my own. And I know that sounds insane because most people who are that sick don't think, oh, there's something that I can do for myself. But I did. And I continued to take prednisone, I guess, for about maybe 3 or 4 months. And like I said before, I took myself off prednisone because of the danger.
I heard it said you had come back from the dead.